Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
A continuación, Voces en Acción, el programa comunitario que informa a la comunidad latina. Voces en Acción, la verdad en acción. Voices in Action, the truth in action. Now, con ustedes, Jenny Ibarra.
Good afternoon, good morning, good day, whatever you are. I'm here, Jenny Rosales again with Voces en Acción, trying to gather all the information that will affect or impact our community, and at the same time, positive things, positive vibes from all the community people that are working with our community, that are trying to improve our lives. Voces en Acción, like I said since the beginning, is here to promote, to educate, to give everything to the community. And the best thing that we have is that we have people that are willing to help us. And I'm going to say a couple of words about our, our sponsor. And but let me go ahead and talk to my Hispanic community. Buenos días, buenas tardes, donde quieran que usted esté. Voces en Acción nuevamente, trayéndole la información necesaria para que usted pueda educarse al respecto de tantas cosas que hay en la comunidad, en Montgomery, en Conroe, en los Estados Unidos, en todos lados del mundo. Estamos aquí para servirle y también para ayudarle a progresar, a educarse y a tener las cosas. Hay corporaciones que no hacen nada más que dar y dar asistencia, y con ello vamos a tener ahorita mismo a una señora que está trabajando constantemente por muchos años con nosotros, dándole a los niños, ayudando a las familias, ayudando a todos, porque ella creció y nació en este condado y quiere ser lo mejor de ella. Pero ahorita voy a hablar sobre nuestro sponsor. I'm going back to my sponsor. I'm going to give a shout out to First Financial Bank. First Financial Bank has been with us for a long time, and they have several programs that are able to assist us growing and have our American dreams. If you're looking for purchasing a house and you don't have a Social Security, First Financial Bank has it. They're able to help you with it without a Social Security, just with your ITIN number. And that's the one that you usually use whenever you file your taxes. They're offering affordable mortgage programs. And you can reach them at 936-439-1800. Again, it's 936-439-1800. Vamos a hablar de First Financial Bank y el impacto que First Financial Bank está teniendo con nosotros en la comunidad. First Financial Bank es un banco que está ayudándonos a nosotros como hispanos a poder tener el sueño de tener nuestra casa propia sin tener que tener un seguro social. Ellos pueden trabajar con su EIN number, el número que le dan a usted para poder hacer los taxes. Con ese número pueden hacerle un préstamo hasta de $400,000 para que usted pueda conseguir su casa y tener a su familia en una casa, en un lugar seguro. Ellos tienen diferentes tipos de programas que los pueden asistir. Por favor, comuníquese con Susi. Ella puede ayudarle. Ella está en First Financial Bank y cualquier agente también le puede ayudar. El número de teléfono de ellos es 936-439-1800. Repito, 936-439-1800. El sueño americano está al alcance de First Financial Bank. The dream of becoming an American, completing your American dream, is at First Financial Bank. Thank you. Today, we're gonna have so much to learn because so many people say they have and they do, but this lady has and does, okay? I'm talking to Rita Wiltz. Rita Wiltz has been in our community since she was a baby. She grew up with us. She's one of the family founders of Conroe. Her family, we owe to this woman that her family really struggled and made it. We can make it. And what she did is, besides that, she's giving constantly to the community. She is the president and founder of Children's Books on Wheels, which is an organization that is established in the Conroe, in the area of Tamina Road. And basically, they don't only give books to kids. They help them, families in need, with so much variety of programs. Miss Rita, thank you for being with us. And, I love your work, Miss Rita, because I feel you're like my mama. You just want to give, girl, and you just want to help. And that's something that, as humans, we need to all get together and do. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to have you here. Tenemos a la señora Rita Wiltz. Ella está con el grupo de niños que les dan libros en ruedas. Niños, asistencia a niños con los libros en las ruedas. O sea, básicamente ella va a donde usted está y le regala libros a niños chiquititos, adultos que necesiten aprender a leer y a escribir. La señora Rita es una de las pioneras en Conroe. La familia de ella fundó Conroe básicamente, porque sus ancestros trabajaron aquí y ella ha dedicado que su vida la ha dedicado para el servicio de la humanidad. Y vamos a hablar con ella. Rita, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to be here today with you to share about Children's Books on Wheels and all the services that we provide. When we talk about Children's Books on Wheels, we talk about the services that we provide, and we think about how many ways can you say it. Free, no cost, no payment, access to services without charge. So many ways of saying that the services are for free. And those are services that we provide gladly in English and also in Spanish. When you talk about being diverse and having a nonprofit and try to make a difference in the community, and what do? How do you go into a community and you cannot speak the language? How can you go into a community and tell them what they need? You need to ask them, what is
they
it
need, exactly,
that you want?
Mm-hmm.
Let us help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that a lot growing up in Tamina. You come in and you decide for us. You didn't ask us if we wanted this. And then you go, well, it wasn't well received. Well, you didn't ask us, you told us.
Exactly.
Exactly what we were going to do. And so the services that Maria Socorro and I provide are services that are in English and Spanish, and we've done that from the very beginning. We knew that diversity is the way to provide services.
Exactly.
Services to everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody's in need. If you think you're not in need, let it snow. Okay?
Because we're going to be needing you.
Yeah. Like the Valentine's snow we had. I guess we want to talk about the big Valentine's
snow. La señora
snow.
Rita dice que cuando ella comenzó este programa era porque quería que hubiera una diversificación de toda la cultura, y cuando las personas están en diversidad tienen que estar unidas para proveer un servicio. Entonces siempre se llega al lugar, las otras entidades llegan y te dicen, aquí está, te damos esto. Y entonces ella dice, pero nosotros no te hemos pedido eso. ¿Para qué tú nos estás dando esto? Mucha gente rechaza el producto. ¿Por qué? Porque no lo necesitamos. Necesitamos otras cosas. Entonces, ella lo que hizo fue que mediante Children's Books on Wheels, ella creó una fundación que se encarga de decirle a usted qué es lo que usted necesita, cómo podemos ayudarlo. Porque eso es, cada comunidad es diferente. Entonces, ella con la señora María, que es una partner de ella de mucho tiempo, trabajan conjuntamente con las dos comunidades, la hispana y toda la comunidad americana, anglosajona, asiática, que solamente hablan inglés. ¿Ok? Y eso es lo que me gusta de este trabajo que ellos hacen, porque realmente están dando un servicio a la comunidad en unificación. I'm telling them that you're giving basically a service to the community, unifying the community. That's what you're doing.
And that is exactly what we need to do. And that's from the children that are impacted, from the free books that we have. So when you're donating, you're giving books to the children. Then it's their siblings that are affected. It's their parents. It's their grandparents.
Everybody.
And so you're including everybody in it. It started off donating books. And then we realized there was so many more services that families needed. Volunteering in the schools and seeing what it was like for the children that did not have, making sure the children have access to backpacks, school supplies, shoes, just whatever you can do. If you're going to do it, do it well.
Exactly. Ella dice que comenzó todo donando libros para las escuelas, para ayudar a la gente. Pero lo que estaba viendo era la necesidad, que no solamente el niño necesitaba libros, el hermano del niño, el papá, la mamá, los abuelos, todo, había una gama de necesidades que no solamente implicaban donar los libros. Todos los servicios que la señora Rita Wiltz y el Children's Book on Wheels y la corporación de ella, el ministerio de ella hace, todo es completamente gratuito, es gratis. Eso significa que usted no paga un real. Y ellos le ayudan a conseguir las cosas básicas que usted necesita. Tenga o no tenga papeles. I'm telling them everything is free.
Yes.
No cost whatsoever.
None.
Regardless if you have papers or no. You help anybody.
You help. And a lot of times what we found, Jenny, is that people that a lot of times the parents don't qualify for the services, but the children do. The children have a Social Security number. Mm-hmm. The children are citizens of the state.
States. Mm-hmm.
And so they have everything that they need. A lot of times the children are in school. So the children need access to services. Don't be afraid to apply for services that your children need.
Needs, exactly. Food stamps and Medicaid. That's
and
something
Medicaid.
That they need. Exactly.
That's the best that you can do. And the pregnancy Medicaid. Mm-hmm. So many women are pregnant and not getting the prenatal care that they need. So there are complications at delivery because they didn't have access to services. We can help you with the prenatal
Ella
Medicaid.
Dice que quiere que entiendan algo, que muchas veces ustedes quizás no tengan papeles, pero sus hijos tienen papeles. Ella ha visto muchos casos donde vienen el padre y la madre a pedir asistencia y ellos no tienen la asistencia, pero los niños tienen seguro social. Entonces, automáticamente se abarcan a la necesidad del niño y mediante el niño se puede conseguir la asistencia para el resto de la familia. Dice que básicamente cuando una mujer está embarazada, muchas llegan y no saben que pueden aplicar para Medicaid. Estando embarazada, usted tiene un riesgo, usted va a dar a luz, usted necesita aplicar el Medicaid para esa persona que va a nacer. Ese niño que va a nacer, como es ciudadano americano, tiene derechos en este país. Y también pueden aplicar para estampillas con ese niño, para el WIC, para tantas organizaciones que pueden ayudarlo a usted a conseguir cubrir esa necesidad médica, esa necesidad económica de comida o ese problema de que no tiene ropa o no tiene zapatos para sus niños. La señora Rita sabe y tiene asistencia en una gama de programas que ahorita mismo voy a pedirle al productor que lo ponga para que podamos verlo. Miss Rita, I'm telling them basically that you not only focus on that, you have so much broader information of different programs that you're running and that will apply for them. That they will be able to get that. You know what I mean?
Yes, they will.
And that's just asking for if you need asking, asking is what it gets you to where you are. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid of asking.
Don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to have access to services. Un poquito español. Un poquito español.
But Miss Maria, Miss Maria speaks a lot of Spanish.
But Miss Maria, she can help you, and we know that, and so we're sensitive to that.
Exactly.
So how can you help someone if you can't really speak the language?
Exactly.
You have to be able to be sensitive to that need, and if you're sensitive to that need, you can provide the services. The information and the flyers are in English. They're also in Spanish.
Exactly. I noticed that.
I know. My grandkids do not like me to talk Tex-Mex.
Exactly.
Bella, don't talk Tex-Mex. Don't do that. And it can be insensitive.
Exactly, it is.
And it can also be a word that you pronounce differently,
Exactly.
or you don't roll your R's the way
Exactly.
you're supposed to. And it comes off different, and it comes off like you're half making the services available.
But not only that, remember there's different Spanish within
There are
Latin
different
America.
dialects.
Exactly. And that's something that's what Voces en Accion was created.
Yeah.
I'm needing to organize, and I'm going to help you, and you're going to help me, Ms. Rita.
Yes, of course.
Because people think that there's only Mexico. No, behind Mexico there's Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Panama, Costa Rica, Venezuela, and all these countries that have, even Argentina, all the way to the bottom. they speak different languages in within them, the way of the accent, the way of pronunciation,
Yes.
whatever for you is something, for them
And the
is something
cultures
else.
and the
cultures-
mannerisms.
exactly. So when we're talking in Spanish,
Yes.
we need to be careful of how you talk to the person
Exactly.
because the person can be offended. So it's easier for Miss Rita to partner up with somebody that speaks Spanish that will be able to cater to that person, like Miss Maria. Miss Maria is in her office working back with her like that. These ladies are incredible, and they're trying to help both of the communities because Miss Wiltz is here for the rest of the Anglo community, which Asians, they don't speak English or they don't speak Spanish. There's a lot of African Americans that are coming in. There's a lot of people from Haiti that don't speak Spanish and they're Caribbeans, but they speak English. There's the Anglo community that is here. There's the Black American community. So Miss Wiltz has the rest of the ball game.
Yes.
Miss Maria has the Hispanic community, and she's been doing
we
a
have
great
volunteers.
job. And there's a lot of volunteers, exactly.
And they speak the languages, and they make sure that the culture is addressed.
Exactly.
And we make sure that we're sensitive. I mean, you have got to take time to sit, because if you approach the person the wrong way, as much as they need help, if you approach them the wrong way, you belittle them. If someone's going through domestic violence, you're sending them right back to that abuser. If
You
those
saw me
kids-
yesterday. We had that example.
Yes,
Thanks
yes.
the Lord, we saved somebody. But
Yeah.
it is very, very touchy, very sensitive,
It is.
especially
It
in
is.
domestic violence.
And
It's
thank you
crucial.
for answering the phone, because I know my limit, but then I know what is happening. I could
Exactly.
feel it.
You
I
can
mean,
see
it was
it.
heavy.
Exactly.
And people are crying, and a hug. So let me just say this about COVID. We understand that there's COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that we can't touch and feel. We understand that people have been separated from their families during COVID. This is the first Thanksgiving that a lot of people have been together for a long time. They're catching up. A lot of abuse and domestic violence goes along with the COVID and the vaccine of not having access to the vaccine, because the person is stuck at home with the person that is providing the domestic violence. The person is staying at home with the abuser for the children, and the mom takes the blunt of it to protect her children. So another example, and I'll just, I can go on and on and on.
Yeah, no,
And I will.
Let me go ahead and translate this
Okay.
to the community.
Sure, of
Lo
course.
que estamos hablando básicamente es que, como todos sabemos que hay diferentes culturas y hay diferentes maneras de cómo hablar el español. La señora Ritz y Wiltz y la señora Segura se encargan de agarrar y ser sensitivo en lo que usted necesita. Yo soy de Panamá. De la manera como las personas me hablan a mí, yo trato de entender. Pero hay personas que hablan, por lo menos en Argentina, que son de Argentina, y hablan con un español muy diferente. Entonces, no nos entendemos porque hay diferentes manerismos en el español, pero sí hablamos el mismo español. Nosotros podemos entender lo que está pasando, pero una persona americana no va a entender que hay diferentes gamas de españoles o diferentes tipos de maneras de asistir o llegar a la persona en necesidad. En este tiempo, por COVID, ha habido mucho incremento en la tasa de suicidio, en la tasa de violencia doméstica, ¿ok? Y han habido muchas personas que han estado encerradas con el agresor en esa casa por 12 meses, un año del tiempo que teníamos que tener la pandemia, y han salido que no han podido ni siquiera defenderse, que han tenido problemas de violencia doméstica. Ayer tuvimos un caso que gracias al señor, digo yo que la señora Ritz me llamó y me dijo, Jenny, necesito tu español porque no quiero asegurarme. La señora Ritz está sentada con la cliente, la cliente habla un poco de inglés, pero todavía la señora Ritz sentía que ella necesitaba esclarecer ciertas preguntas. Le contesté, hablé con la clienta, gracias a Dios se salvó y está tratando de ayudar a sus hijos. Esos son casos que vienen constantemente donde la señora Rita lidia con todo, violencia doméstica, toda clase de enfermedades. Estamos en una etapa donde ya realmente no se ve a la persona por lo que es, sino por lo que la persona trae en peso, lo que la persona tiene el problema. Y la señora Ritz, mediante este programa, ha tratado de ayudar, de que ustedes tengan una solución positiva en su problema. I'm telling them that basically you are trying to assist every case by giving them a solution, a suitable, caring, catering solution on their need, okay? And I told them about the lady that we talked yesterday, that due to the need that you're needing in Spanish, you're able to reach to somebody like me and tell me, Miss Jenny, can you help me with this?
Because I trust you, and you have to be entrusted.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, if someone is with the person and they're interpreting for me, I don't know if they're saying exactly what that person
needs to be said. Mm-hmm.
So you have to have the entrusted, and that's the part that Maria plays.
Exactly.
She can talk to you. Before you can put a Band-Aid on the wound, you have to assess the situation to see exactly what the person needs. A lot of times, it takes a minute for them to sit and settle. Once they sit and settle, then they're ready to go into the process of what they need. But a lot of times they're coming in and they're rushing in and they need this and they need that. One thing I wanted to say also is that a lot of times children are labeled in school. They're labeled because the children are bad. They're not listening. The children are fidgeting, and they label the children. The children have an attitude. You do not know that there may be a domestic violence situation at home with that child.
Not only
you
that,
do not know that child is hungry and their stomach is growling, so they can't hear what you're saying because their stomachs are empty and
not
they
only
need
that,
access.
you don't
to
know
that.
if that child completely understands the language. There's a barrier on it.
And there's the evaluation of that. And one of the things that I've noticed that NCISD is really important, that they make sure that those children are in the classes where they can have access to someone to translate for them. That's important. The other thing is that when children are in school, a lot of times they can't hear. They've never been assessed for hearing.
Exactly.
So the child can't hear very well. So the child is sitting in the back of the class or somewhere else. They really can't hear the teacher because they've never had access to health care. They can't hear. They need to go to the dentist. So their teeth
are falling in pieces.
Out. And,
Exactly.
There's just so many different things that has to do with the child that affects the child, the family, and everything. Having access to CHIP and Medicaid, having access to going to the dentist, having access
to the right
affordable
vaccines,
health care
everything.
And the vaccines and the immunization that the child needs. You get all those things into place. This child is not cooperating. Did you realize that the child has never had their eyes examined and they can't even see it clearly?
Oh, wow.
So there's a whole component.
La señora Rita acaba de decir algo muy claro. Ella dice que el componente más grande es que ella ve que muchos de ustedes tienen llamadas de los profesores donde le dicen, su niño se está portando mal, su niño no sé qué, su niño acá tiene problemas de que no habla, no respeta, no sé qué. Las maestras no son doctoras para realmente entender que ese niño está con hambre, que ese niño está necesitando atención médica porque no puede escuchar realmente y está sentado en la parte de atrás de la clase. Por eso está llamando la atención. Que ese niño es un niño que tiene problemas de violencia doméstica en su casa y que ve que el papá y la mamá están peleándose todo el tiempo y pegándose, y por esa razón ese niño está actuando de esa manera. No han visto si ese niño tiene problemas con la dentadura, se le está cayendo los dientes, si ese niño está entendiendo el lenguaje. Porque muchas veces yo puedo hablar quiché, por lo menos en Guatemala. En Guatemala hay no sé cuántos dialectos y hay indias que vienen de Guatemala para acá. Y ella le habla a su hijo en su idioma, pero el niño no aprendió español. Así que el niño puede entender el idioma y no entiende el inglés. Hay muchas barreras y todo eso lo tiene que limpiar. La señora Rita y la señora María se encargan de evaluar, sentar a la persona llega a pedir algo, se sienta y analiza. Y después que la persona analiza, entonces comienza a decir, yo necesito esto otro. Y ellos van evaluando lo que la persona necesita y van guiando a la persona a los diferentes programas que ellos proveen. Pero tiene que ser un assessment, o sea, tiene que evaluarse lo que la persona necesita, no lo que usted le va a imponer a la persona. El niño necesita Medicaid, el niño necesita chip, el niño necesita vacunas, el niño necesita asistencia dental, asistente de lentes, no puede ver la visión. todo eso lo van evaluando y les van ayudando para que ustedes puedan conseguir esas diferentes asistencias y dónde puede conseguirla gratis para que usted pueda mantener a sus hijos en un nivel de educación limpio, claro, perfecto a lo más posible. I'm telling them that basically you guys, after you sit down and talk to the client, and the client is after resting and he's, settling themselves,
Yes.
you're able to understand their needs because they come and they're hyper and they're stressed and everything, and the kids are running up and down and everything, and then that's when you start looking, you and Maria start looking, she's coming from domestic violence, or she's coming from a stress home, or they're needing food, or they don't have a shelter, or they don't have where to sleep, or they don't have heat in their house.
Or they don't have gas
gas
to get
or
back
water.
and forth. Yes.
Okay.
Running water.
Or they're living in a incest situation, or pedophile situation. There's so many of them too.
Yes.
That they don't want to talk because they're afraid of saying who's the aggressor.
And they're also afraid of people they worked with in the past. They can't believe that we're real. They can't believe that, oh my gosh, where have you been? Where has Maria been? I didn't know that I could sign up for the marketplace. You mean I can get insurance? The insurance on my job is so high, I can't afford it. So here's an opportunity for me to have access to that. There are veterans. The veteran is covered, but his family needs to have access to services. So then you sign the family up for services. They can go in the marketplace. We can help them to choose. There are things that we have a list of. It says the thing that immigrants, families need to know about the marketplace and coverage so that they can see it and have access to read it and to see that we are there to help.
I'm going to ask my producer to see if he can pull the page. Can you pull the page on, sir, on Miss Rita? I think it's www.
The childrenbooksonwheels.org.
Exactly, .org.
Yeah.
Si me dan un momento, estamos tratando de conseguir la información para que ustedes puedan entrar al internet y buscar dónde está la señora Rita, qué es lo que ella ofrece, todos los servicios. Ella me trajo los panfletos, pero yo creo que mirándolos mejor en la computadora podemos darnos cuenta de las cosas que están pasando. If you go down on the screen, okay, esa es la señora Rita, la información de ella y cómo ella fundó la organización. That's Miss Rita. You guys can read it in English. It's all her information and basically what type of non-profit she is and how she works with the organization. Keep going on the bottom. Okay, right there. Okay. Apenas usted viene a este lado de la página, que usted puede entrar a childrenbooksonwheels.com. Sería www.niños y sería en rueda, libros gratis en rueda, lo puede poner en español, creo que lo puede tabular y automáticamente lo puede sacar en español y le va a salir la corporación. Con solo que usted ponga Rita Wiltz, WILTZ, sale esto de una vez. Se los aviso. I put your name yesterday and this would pull. Without me even putting, because it will pull. So I'm telling them, even if they cannot type children books on wheels, whatever, they're able to see Rita Wiltz and it will pull this page.
Good. And the information is there. The
y la
social
información
services,
de todo lo que ellos tienen ahí está
the
allí.
free taxes. We do free taxes in English and in Spanish.
Tienen servicio de asistencia múltiple en diferentes lenguajes. Hace taxes. Ustedes quieren hacer sus taxes para poder conseguir su residencia algún día. Ella hace eso. También habla sobre, da certificaciones para personas que quieran aprender el área ocupacional de ¿cómo se llama? De administración y ¿cómo se llama? Salud. Dan, ¿cómo se llama? Test para el coronavirus. Y le ayudan a averiguar cuáles son los centros de asistencia. También tienen acceso a libros, a todo tipo de libros, tanto para adultos como para niños. O sea que si usted quiere también un libro lo puede tener. También habla sobre distribuyen comida. Ellos distribuyen comida
And
en
we have
rueda.
a location for them to come.
Y usted puede ir allá donde ellos. Si usted no tienen comida, ellos le dan comida. Y encima de eso, ellos a los veteranos de guerra. Hay muchos veteranos de guerra que están necesitados, que no tienen y las familias no. Ellos ayudan a los veteranos de guerra. y se hacen partners, ellos son partners con el centro de comida, de despensa de comida de Montgomery County, es el Food Bank, ¿ok? Ellos le proveen. Pueden también allí, en el mismo building, hay un lugar donde usted puede llegar con sus niños y utilizar el Wi-Fi. Y el esposo, si los niños no tienen cómo hacer su tarea, lo pueden hacer allí. Ella hasta eso hace. La señora Rita está aquí para Dios, porque Dios la puso aquí. Miss Rita, you're here because God put you here.
I believe that.
God has opened you everything.
Yes,
to
he
help
has.
everybody.
Yes, he
so
has.
That means
yes, he does. I receive that
blessings.
because I do from my heart, and the team that we have. The team is the same way. You know, God has sent me this team that they're sensitive and they're care, and we help the homeless. We provide services through breast cancer awareness, LBGT programs that we have, access to information and education about HIV/AIDS and all of that. We do all of those services at no cost. The tax project we're getting ready to start. We do that year round. We have mobile tax sites throughout the county, and we have a place that we land. The Sleepy Hollow Multipurpose Building is located on Sleepy Hollow. And it's available for our families to have access to services. And we give books to kids. So while we're working with the parents to do their paperwork, we have snacks for the kids that have been donated. We have books for the kids so they can sit. We have puzzles. We have word games. And then that way the children are able to do that while we're working with the parents to see what their needs are, to provide them resources and services that they need throughout the county in English and also in Spanish.
Sir, can you go down one more down? Okay. There's a little video right there that you guys can watch. I will let you, take a look at it. Ustedes pueden mirar este video en su tiempo, porque ese video habla directamente de todo lo que está haciendo el programa aquí en el área de la comunidad. Keep going down, sir. And then basically in the bottom, ella tiene toda la información puesta que trae aquí ahorita la señora. Ella tiene toda la información, ¿ok? En español y en inglés, porque si usted lo toca también se puede voltear en español, ¿ok? Y le dice todos los programas que tienen, todo, uno por uno, básicamente para que usted pueda entender con quién usted está lidiando. Usted está lidiando con una organización que es sin fines de lucros, que está aquí para quedarse y que ayuda a miles de personas diariamente. No solamente en el Sleepy Hollow, en el centro comunitario que ellos tienen, sino también Miss Rita se va con la señora Dolly Parton, se va a repartir libros.
Yes.
That's the one that I wanted to get you now. Ella se va a repartir libros por todas las escuelas, todas las librerías y las bibliotecas, todos los autos, los dealers. Ella se va everywhere. She goes everywhere with Miss Dolly Parton. But she partnered up with Miss Dolly Parton, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. And I'm going to go ahead, if you can get me, I'm going to go ahead and take a break for our sponsors, and we'll come back, okay, with you guys in a couple of seconds. Thank you. Hola, this is Jenny from Voces en Accion, and I'm going to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, First Financial Bank. If you wish to purchase your own home, but you don't have a Social Security number, First Financial Bank can help you. Their ITIN home loan program can be a perfect option for you. They are here to help you. You can reach them at 936-439-1800. That number again is 936-439-1800. The American dream is at your reach at First Financial Bank. First Financial Bank is an equal housing lender, member of FDIC. Hola, les habla Jenny de Voces en Acción. Estoy aquí para hablar sobre un patrocinador de nosotros, First Financial Bank. El préstamo hipotecario ITIN puede ser una opción excelente para usted. Están a sus órdenes llamando al 936-439-1800. Repito, el número es 936-439-1800 y descubra cómo le pueden ayudar. El sueño americano está a su alcance en First Financial Bank. Prestamista de vivienda equitativa, miembro FDIC. Thank you for being still with us. Right now, still, like we were talking in our past segment, we're still with Miss Rita Wiltz from Children Books on Wheels. And we are so excited to see that this organization is providing so much assistance to all the community. She's one of the organizations that is nonprofit, and she was telling me she's not zip code restricted. That means she's receiving people from Houston, from Deer Park, from everywhere, that have known about her and that have come to make sure they gather information, they get the services, they register for WIC, for maternity, Medicaid, for everything, because they have people that are backing Miss Rita up. Miss Rita, how many volunteers do you have?
I would say about 60.
Okay.
Our volunteers volunteer for different programs. We have volunteers that come in through the tax season that work with us to provide taxes, and then we see them again next year at tax season.
Okay.
We have volunteers that volunteer with us through October for the education services that we provide for breast cancer awareness.
Oh, okay.
And they actually go down to the race for the cure with us.
Exactly.
So we have those. We have families that work with us for HIV/AIDS awareness and education that work with us.
You have psychologists, so that means you have psychologists and doctors that are involved with you as well, am I
Yes,
right?
we do.
I heard about that. La señora Rita tiene esta organización tan bonita. Mire, tiene doctores, tiene voluntarios, tiene enfermeras, tiene gente que viene, hay gente que son especializados en hacer impuestos. Ella hacen los impuestos gratis para usted. Usted nada más tiene que registrarse. Eso está comenzando ya ahora, porque en enero tenemos que pagar todos los impuestos y tenemos que llenar nuestras taxas. Entonces, ella se encarga de ayudarle a ustedes para que se registren con tiempo y vayan al centro y hagan sus impuestos. Ella también se encarga de ayudarlos a personas, a mujeres con problemas de cáncer mamario. Ustedes saben que para el tiempo de octubre siempre se reúne el mes de la mama, el mes donde tenemos nosotras como mujeres de cuidar nuestra salud, y la señora Rita tiene gente, expertos que van a dar clases para el cuidado del mamograma, el mamograma que se tiene que hacer uno anual, el cómo de darse cuenta y de activar un cáncer, porque nosotros no tomamos iniciativa en nuestro propio cuidado. La señora Rita también tiene gente que viene y ayuda con HIV o con problemas venéreos, personas que tienen problemas venéreos y que lo han adquirido por alguna enfermedad. Ella tiene gente que le ayuda para trabajar con usted al respecto, y quiero que sepa que todo lo que ella habla por conciencia y todo lo que ella ofrece es confidencial. Y lo quiero repetir nuevamente, todo lo que usted como persona habla con un doctor o con una persona en el centro, todo su récord y toda su información es confidencial. I'm letting them know that everything that they disclose to you, everything that they talk to your volunteers is confidential, and it's because of HIPAA laws, we're not able. You're not disclosing anything.
No, we can't.
They can
and we
trust
also
you.
have a consent form that they sign.
Exactly.
And the consent form is saying that your information is held
protected.
private.
Exactly.
It falls under the Good Samaritan Act when we do the taxes.
Exactly.
We're having your information, but we don't share your information. I can tell you, we go through a couple of shredders a year because we shred everything.
Everything, exactly.
And we are telling families themselves, we're giving them safety lessons. If you go somewhere and you're doing an application, you're providing services somewhere, or you're receiving services and you make a mistake, don't throw your information in the trash can. Don't throw your Social Security information in the trash can. Don't put your information about your kids, or you make an extra copy of something. So, I made too many copies, so I'll just throw this Social Security information in the trash. You can't do that. You have to shred. We have shredders on hand, and we have copies on hand.
La información usted es confidencial, sobre todo cuando está haciendo los impuestos. Todos sus datos son mediante la ley de buen samaritano. No se puede dar su información personal ni la de sus hijos a nadie. A nadie. Básicamente, eso son información que usted le da a ellos, y ellos todos los años hacen, y lo que hacen es botan, destruyen, queman en pedacitos los papeles, lo pulverizan. ¿Por qué? Porque es información muy delicada. También ella tiene clases de entrenamiento donde le enseña a usted a cómo proteger su propia información. Así que eso lo hacen ellos. Todo eso tiene una gama de programas. La señora, por favor, escuchen. La señora Rita tiene un programa que se hizo partner con la señora Dolly Parton y vamos a hablar de eso en inglés y después vamos a hablar sobre eso. Okay. What's up with Miss Dolly Parton? Tell me the story. Because I know that it was so much fun last time you told me. And I was like, wow. And it's growing. I see it in the community, Miss Rita. And not only, I saw it in the library when I went to vote.
Yeah.
I saw your family, all your family information, and then I saw, of course, Miss Dolly Parton. I started laughing. I said, Miss Rita is going everywhere. Tell me about that.
So, two things. So, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, Montgomery County Children's Books on Wheels. I know it's a mouthful, but we're excited about it because we have the Dolly Parton Imagination Library in Montgomery County. And with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, it's a wonderful thing because our target population is pre-K to 12th grade.
Okay.
The Dolly Parton Imagination Library target population is 0 to age 5. So we're able to service the whole child.
Okay.
When the children are able to go to school, they already know how to read because they have access to books. They know how to take care of the books. And with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, the books are mailed to their house.
Okay.
Can you imagine going to the mailbox? There's a book with your name on it,
so
and
sweet.
you have access to it, and it becomes your own. And then you can build your own little reading library so
Exactly.
that you can do that. You can read with your family.
So they
you
send
can
them
share
books
it.
every month or how?
Every month.
Ay, qué lindo.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
I'm gonna register my grandkid on that, girl. Le digo que es muy bonito el programa que tienen. El programa que tienen en corporación con la señora Dolly Parton. La señora Dolly Parton es una artista famosa de country music. Es muy aplaudida. Ha ganado Grammys y ella ha dedicado su vida a muchas benefacciones. Entre ellas es enseñarle a los niños a leer. Y ella, lo que hace la organización de Dolly Parton es que ella ayuda a los niños de la edad de 0 a los 5 años y que cada mes, cuando usted se registra a sus hijos en eso, todos los meses reciben un libro. Les enseñan cómo leer al niño, le enseñan cómo cuidar el libro. Entonces, doña Rita se va por todos lados con una figura bien bonita de Dolly Parton.
Yes.
Ella se enseña a Dolly Parton y la gente se firma. Hay muchos voluntarios. Es una camaradería bien bonito. Y al niño lo están viendo y están entregándole libros y están leyéndole cuentos al niño para que el niño comience a aprender en temprana edad a leer, que es lo principal. Cuando el niño entra a kinder, ya el niño sabe leer. Ese es el gol de la señora Rita, que cuando un niño entre a kinder, ya el niño sepa cómo leer. Y eso es lo que tenemos que, nosotros como hispanos tenemos que entender que la educación es primordial en todo sentido. I'm letting them know that your goal has always been that every kid will have to learn by the age of 5 when he goes to kindergarten and beyond that, because it's easier. So when they're in high school, they don't have the baggage that they don't know how to read or understand things because they're able to read.
They're able to read and they're able to comprehend. My grandchildren have always had access to books. They know at a young age when they started pre-K, pre-K school, and they were 4, they already knew how to hold the book. They knew that the pages are supposed to be like this and not upside down. They understood the process of taking care of a book. They're not going to color in their book and all that. They want the pages all nice and neat. Those are the things that children need to know before they go to school. They can learn the colors, they can look at the pages, they can understand the story. The comprehension is there because they've been reading with their parents, and as busy as you might be, take time to read with children. You have to take time to read with your children, your grandchildren. They need to learn the love of reading and the love of literacy. And it's very important. It's also a way of bonding with the child with the story. It's also a way of helping them to understand. They'll understand the story, who's the main character in the stories. Those things, like you said, they go all the way with them from the beginning to the end.
When they graduate from high school.
And they read.
And after.
And there's something about holding a book. Now, everybody, it's the modern ages where everybody like to swipe and all of that. Your comprehension is not the same as it is if you would sit and turn a page and read. You remember your recall is better. Your recall is better because I've taught this to my grandkids and to my kids. When you look back and you're studying, you remember, okay, it was on that page. Okay, it was in the middle of the page. Okay, what was that? What was that color? Oh, yeah, what was that character's name? Okay, what were the adjectives on that page? What were the adverbs? Okay, the nouns. And all those things help. That's why we do what we do.
Books.
For the comprehension and the books. And then it just start happening with children needing access to have glasses and have what they need.
That's when you realize that if your child has any type of impairment, because if they're not able to read or they're not able to listen and they're in age 3, you will be able to see it right then. And you can take the child to the doctor and assess it at an early stage.
I think you got it. That's it.
Prevention. Education and prevention. That's my motto all the time. Lo que estamos hablando es lo siguiente. La gente está acostumbrada a que agarramos el celular y comenzamos a leer computadoras y celular y todo pasamos. Con un libro no. El niño aprende a agarrar el libro. El niño aprende a que no tiene que dañar las páginas del libro. El niño aprende que no se colorea sobre el libro. Y el niño aprende a ver las cosas y entenderlas. Más fácil cuando el niño pasa la página porque se acuerda en qué página, estaba en la página 4 y busca la página 4 y en la página 4 estaba, el hipopótamo era no sé qué, por ejemplo, ¿verdad? O, en esta tiene la dirección, ¿cuál es el adjetivo? ¿Cuál es el verbo? ¿Cuál es todo eso? Porque va leyendo y va leyendo y va leyendo y va entendiendo mientras que va creciendo en el nivel adecuado de cada niño. Entonces, cada mes la señora Dolly Parton y la señora Rita le da un libro al niño y usted va comenzando a construir una biblioteca personal para su hijo, en el cual cuando ese niño vaya a kinder, el niño ya va a saber, mamá, eso lo leí de un libro, ya yo lo entendí. Y le va a decir, mami, yo no quiero la computadora, yo no quiero la tablet, dame un libro. Nosotros, los que somos generaciones pasadas, la generación X, la generación baby bloomer, la generación maternal, que eran las grandes, no teníamos celulares, no teníamos computadoras, no teníamos más que ir a la biblioteca y leer un libro. Y terminábamos el libro y teníamos que sacar otro. Y a veces nos ponían exámenes sobre esos libros. Señores, si usted me está escuchando, el libro es la verdadera educación. No es una computadora solamente. Okay? I'm telling them basically, the truth of the book is the right way of educating.
It is.
It's not the computer. It's not the tablet. Okay? Electronically, the person is not going to really assess what they need to do. Okay?
Yes.
Otra cosa que habló con la señora Ritz, que me dice, ¿sabes qué? Usted puede darse cuenta al niño a la edad de 2, 3 años, qué capacidad mental tiene el niño. Si el niño tiene problemas de visión o de audición, cuando el niño está leyendo un libro. Eso no lo puede hacer con la computadora, no lo puede hacer con el celular. Eso lo puede hacer solamente cuando el niño tiene el libro y la capacidad de entrenarlo. Usted tiene una unión más cercana con sus hijos cuando usted les lee en la noche, todas las noches, léanle a sus hijos un libro para que el niño pueda aceptar el desarrollar su mente al máximo, para que ese niño pueda ser algún día un doctor, una enfermera, un radioescucha, pero millonario, o una persona que invierta, un ecónomo. ¿Por qué? Porque mientras más lees, más te educas. I'm telling them, the more they read, the more they are educated. That kid will form a bond with them if they read to them daily.
Yes,
I remember
and it has to be daily. And another thing that is important is that the children that are speaking the English and learning to read can read with Abuela, so that she'll understand the words and the communication is a little bit better. But it is very important. It is very important that the children also learn what it takes to do what they do in Spanish also. You do not want to lose your
language
values.
Exactly.
You do not want to do that.
Exactly.
Now, my grandkids, I'm the grandmother that speaks English, okay? We're going to make sure there's no ebonics. We're going to talk so that you say your words correctly. The
And
enunciation
your culture,
that goes with that.
the American culture will be intact.
They're Afro
And they have
Latino.
Exactly.
And then the abuela on the other side, she will make sure that they understand their
traits,
culture.
their culture.
You've got to do that to separate and just give this child this other identity that they have. They don't understand it. And children can be bullied by that. You bullied in school because you're trying to live your culture and your way. Yes, you understand where you are, and you understand the American dream. We understand that, but we need to.
I've seen it in my own children. My children are your color, but they speak Spanish fluently.
Yes,
and they respect their culture.
Yes.
My son, the second one, got married, and he's married to an American beautiful woman, and they have a baby. They have a baby boy. He's a year old yesterday.
Oh.
And I'm the abuela. I'm the Nana Jenny.
Yes.
Abuela Nelly.
Yeah.
Abuela Jenny. And he knows my mom too, Abuela Nelly.
Yeah.
And we talk to him in Spanish because his father is talking to him in Spanish already. And he's saying little words like agua, papa, things like that. Because he's a baby still.
Yes.
But when he sees me, he knows that Nana speaks different than Nana Sydney. Nana Sydney speaks
And that's a
English,
wonderful
English
advantage.
fluently. Texan,
Yes.
she was born in Cleveland and raised in Cleveland.
Yes.
And she's,
so he
white-
gets that
white-
Texas twang, that y'all.
and she's
Texas.
Anglo. So Nana Sydney talks in English. Nana Jenny talks in Spanish. So it is a beautiful
It's
integration.
It
and,
is.
And ella dice, la señora, le estoy explicando a la señora Riz que nosotros, y ella lo dice porque los nietos de ella son mitad americanos negros y mitad hispanos. Entonces ella le dice, los abuelitos, la abuelita tiene una abuelita que habla español y tiene la abuelita que es ella que habla inglés. Entonces la abuelita en inglés le habla todo en inglés y lo educa en inglés, y la abuelita en español le habla en español y lo educa todo en español, para que el niño tenga la diversidad incluida. Inclusion of diversity. That's
Yes.
what eso significa que el niño va a crearse respetando las dos culturas, amando las dos culturas, y no lo van a hacer bullying porque va a poder respetar, va a decir, no voy a aceptar que me hagas bullying porque yo hablo español, pero yo también hablo inglés. Y yo nací en este país. Entonces, usted tiene que enseñarle a sus hijos las dos lenguas.
Yes.
O las tres lenguas, lo que
Yes.
usted hable, sea brasileño, sea lo que sea.
language.
Yeah, any language. They can be multicultural. I
Yes.
have a friend of mine that her husband is from Philippines and she is from Brazil. And they have a child born here. So one speaks Portuguese to him, the other one speaks Tagalog to him, and he speaks English. So the
Yes.
kid is multicultural.
Of course.
Okay, so we
Yes.
need to respect that. Nosotros
Yes.
tenemos que respetar que hay personas que tienen hasta 3 o 4 lenguas en su casa. Y eso, mientras más se educa una persona con otra lengua, más, no es que es menos inteligente, es más inteligente. As the years of research that I've been doing, Rita, people that have more retention for different languages are the intelligent ones. People think that because we speak a different language or because we don't speak, we're dumb. No, excuse me. When you speak more than 3 languages, according to Harvard University, you have an IQ that is
because
retaining.
your intelligence level is different for this particular language that you speak.
Exactly.
And then you learn it again in another
language,
and
in
then
another
you learn it again
in
in
another
another
language.
So you really understand. And it's the same type thing as an African American. And I understand that you have the way of the way you cook and all of that, but there's just something about a pot of greens
Oh, you need to trade me for
that
that.
a pot of greens that a sister will cook, and those greens will make you do. I call it the little hallelujah dance.
Hallelujah
you
dance.
You're just so excited because of the flavor that's in it. A lot of the medicinal things that you get for a headache, a lot of times, that's why a lot of the medicines now, they're going back to the
old
healing
times.
from the earth.
Exactly, because
I have 7 generations of mint.
Oh.
So my great-great-grandmother had mint growing wild in her garden.
Wow.
And so it's called Della's Community Garden. My mother always had a garden.
Mira, ella hasta esto nos está explicando. La manera como comemos es una cultura. Ella dice que el cocinar lo que es los greens, lo que son las collard greens, que son las lechugas, una lechuga que se llama collard, y la pueden conseguir ustedes, como la cocina una persona afroamericana, es riquísima, ¿ok? Porque la cocina con un sabor especial que solamente ellos pueden cocinar. Así como usted cocina un tamal que nosotros no podemos cocinar. Así como usted hace una tortilla que nosotros no podemos cocinar, ¿verdad? Entonces, cada cultura tiene su comida. Ella habla sobre que tienen en su casa un jardín de hierbas de menta, de generaciones antepasadas, se llama Della Garden. Y ella allí tiene herencias de plantas de sus ancestros. So you went all the way and created that garden.
I have the garden. My mom always had a garden, and the mints that we have there is the original mints that was in my great-great-grandmother's yard. It was in my mother's yard, and I have it now. I will go out and pull that fresh mint. It's medicinal.
Oh, and you
so
can drink
you have
a
it
nice
on your
tea.
nice nightstand, or you can boil it, and it makes it's warming in the heart and in the house when you smell that. It's not an artificial anything. Mm-hmm. It's the indigenous families and the things that they have to make you well. It's the Hispanic culture, different things that you have that make you well. It's not an aspirin or anything. It's just straight from the Mother Earth.
Exactly.
And it's just, and it's calming.
Exactly. El thyme, el epazote,
Yes,
todo lo ella está hablando de las hierbas, cómo las hierbas medicinales de sus ancestros de ella la hacen sentirse bien, porque ella lo heredó de su bisabuela y tiene un jardín con todas estas hierbas, y eso le ayuda a ella a entender que el olor de esa hierba le recuerda a la cultura pasada. Yes. Nosotros tenemos no solamente la Tylenol, sino que nosotros tenemos las hierbas como el epazote, la hoja de gato, el montón de hierbas que hay que nosotros podemos utilizar en nuestros países que no necesitan tomarse con medicina, se pueden tomar sola. La hoja de limón, ¿ok? La hoja de té de tilo. O sea, esas son las hierbas mexicanas, latinoamericanas que se utilizaban. Y eso nos encuentra con la cultura de nuestros ancestros. Thank you for educating us, Ms. Rita, because that will help us go back to our ancestors.
Yes.
And the cultural traditions that we had. We need
for the healing.
For the healing.
And for the breathing, for
everything, not only that, for formation, completely
yes.
formation of the human being from our culture past.
And you know what else? The kids know that Miss Rita said potato chips aren't vegetables.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Dice que le dice que otro que aprendan. Que ella le dice a la gente claramente que le dice a los niños cuando que la papa no es un vegetal, ¿ok? Las papas fritas no son vegetales. Significa que cuando usted quiere comer papa es diferente y se hierve y se hace. La papa frita no es vegetal, ¿ok?
They gotta have it out of the garden, and we have the garden and we share it, and
there's
good. Something about a tomato that has organic soil and doesn't have all the preservatives. There's something about eating that and just hanging out in the garden. The garden is designed so that a wheelchair can get in there, because we do work with families that are special needs.
I need to go to your garden, Miss Rita. I need to get some of that mint, girl. I'm serious.
Oh my gosh, it is so good. And you just sit and you sip it. And it's just calming, it's relaxing. Children's Books on Wheels is just a great place to be for a lot of reasons. We have a kitchen. We love to cook. We have diabetes education. It's called Faith and Diabetes. And Danny and I provide those services.
Tiene programas de cocina donde puede usted llegar y si sufre de diabetes le enseñan a cómo comer. Señores, ya se me está acabando el tiempo. Yo sé que tengo que terminar con la señora Ritz, pero yo quiero que ustedes entiendan una cosa. Cada vez que yo trato de venir con una persona como la señora Rita aquí a educarnos, lo hago con el corazón. Lo hago porque creo en los hispanos, creo en mi grupo, creo en que nosotros podemos educarnos. La señora Ritz tiene una gama de cosas, tiene una cocina, tiene un jardín donde usted puede llegar y si usted se siente cansado, desahogar sus penas allí. El Community Center de la señora Ritz y Books on Wheels tiene una gama de ayuda. Por favor, escuchen este audio específicamente. Llámenla. Busquen, Rita, I am short on time and I need to start closing the program and I'm sorry. I wish I could stay here 3 hours with you, girl.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
I'm telling my audience right now that
yes,
you have a blessing of a tradition and that you have cultivated it and you spread in love around.
And we're sharing
You're
it.
trying it with everybody.
We're sharing it. The ground on which I stand talks about the Tamina community. The book, The Ground on Which I Stand. And the ground on which I stand talks about Tamina and growing up in Tamina and growing up in Conroe.
Your great-grandfather.
Great-great-grandmother was a midwife.
And that's in the library. I'm going to tell them, por favor, si usted quiere saber sobre la vida de la señora Rita, que yo voy a traer para otra ocasión. I'm going to bring you for another time so you can talk about your ancestors because I'm going to do a show on ancestors. I'm going to bring you somebody else that I thought about it, that you guys have been one of the native, families of Conroe. And we're going to talk about your book. I'm going to talk about that because it is so interesting that you have kept every single thing about your great-grandparents, the music, the soul food, the way they came, and the slavery, everything that they leave, okay? And
it's a legacy. And
it's a legacy.
And families should create their own legacy. Just because you came from another country to here, you can still start those traditions right now. Marty Korn, Maria Banos Jordan and I have worked together so that the book has how you can create a curriculum and how you can do it for your family. Okay, so I know we got to go, but this holiday is coming up. It's Thanksgiving. So Abuela, grandmother, Gigi, Mimi, Nana, whatever you call your grandmother, your aunts, have all gotten together to cook all the time. So they're elderly. You want that cookie recipe to stay on forever.
Exactly.
You want that secret ingredient on how to make that oatmeal cookie the best it can be. Mm-hmm. You want that sweet potato pie to be wonderful. What is that in that meatloaf? Those are kind of things you could talk about in the kitchen. And then you could talk about the uncles and who played baseball and where they go to college
to bring
and all
back
that.
The memories, old memories of your grandma or your grandpa and everybody. Bring them to the plate.
And have somebody kind of write it down.
Turn off the TV. Turn off the cellulars.
Yes.
Because it's Thanksgiving time.
Do you really have to watch that game one more time?
I know this. I know that it's basically those are the times of Christmas, Thanksgiving that is coming. All those times that we need to get together.
And it might be the last time because you don't know.
Exactly. The way it is right now in this world after COVID, we don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Take pictures and everything.
Ustedes hagan algo, que ustedes mantengan viva la llama de la hispanidad en sus hogares, sus tradiciones, sus culturas. Todo. Ella quiere que ustedes piensen realmente en esa cocina de la abuela, cómo hacía los tamales, cómo hacía el pozole, cómo hacía el menudo. Que ustedes guarden las recetas del puerco cubano o de un tamal panameño, pero que las guarden, que les pregunten a sus tías, a sus tíos, a sus abuelos, si están vivos, que cultiven su tradición cultural para que puedan ver que sus ancestros han trabajado por una mejor educación. Es tiempo para mí dejarlos ahorita mismo para continuar en nuestro próximo programa. Le agradecemos a la señora Rita Wiltz que ha venido con su tiempo a dedicárnoslos y la vamos a traer en otro programa para que nos hable de sus ancestros y que ustedes tengan más información. Comuníquense con ella. Toda la información está en mi webpage, todita. El teléfono de la señora María es 713-322 4283, la señora María Cortés, ella se encarga de todo eso. Lo mismo la señora Rita, si usted quiere hablar con ella, es el 281-844-75996. Esto va a estar puesto en mi website. También Voces en Acción está en comunicación con ellas. Si usted quiere, mi número de teléfono es 832-732-4744. Estaremos con ustedes en el próximo show. Thank you guys for being with us. Thank you for assisting us. Thank you for giving the likes and thank you for making me work double, because when I'm working double, I feel happy because I know I'm providing the information. Thank you, Ms. Rita, for being with us.
I know,
It's
gracias.
an honor. Gracias por
Gracias.
estar con nosotros. Thank you por estar con nosotros. We will see you guys on our next edition of Voces en Acción. Que pasen buenas tardes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hey, this is Jenny from Voces en Acción. We're going to talk about one of our sponsors, First Financial Bank. Are you ready to make your dreams come true in home ownership? The new affordable mortgage program at First Financial Bank can be a great option for you and your family. We're here to help you. Call 936-439-1800. Again, 936-439-1800 and discover how can we assist you. The American dream is at your reach at First Financial Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Hola, les habla Jenny de Voces en Acción y hoy vamos a hablar sobre uno de nuestros patrocinadores, First Financial Bank. ¿Listo para hacer realidad su sueño de comprar su propio hogar? El nuevo programa hipotecario de vivienda accesible de First Financial Bank puede ser una opción excelente para usted y su familia. Están a sus órdenes llamando al 936-439-1800. Nuevamente, el número es 936-439-1800 y descubra cómo le pueden asistir. El sueño americano está a su alcance en First Financial Bank. Prestamista de vivienda equitativa, miembro FIDC.
Esto fue Voces en Acción, el programa comunitario que informa a nuestra comunidad latina. Voces en Acción, la verdad en acción. Voices in Action, the truth in action. Hasta nuestra próxima edición.